Alright everyone, we now have the iPhone XS, 11 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 13, and iPhone 14 Pro all side by side, all on max brightness, all on iOS 17, and we're going to see how long it takes for all these iPhones to actually die out. Now all these apps are cleared out in the background, they're all at varying battery healths, but they're all at 100% battery life as you all can kind of tell. So the way it works, I'm just going to let them be on their main display for maybe like an hour or two. I'm going to play some games here and there, but whatever I do on one, I'm going to do on all the others. So it's going to be as balanced as I can make it. They're all on max brightness as well. So we're going to check back in every once in a while. I'm excited for this one because we're now a couple betas in, and these are almost the main flagships except for the 13. The reason for that, I'm using my 13 Pro and I didn't want to throw in this battery comparison just yet. But we're going to see how long it takes for all these iPhones to go ahead and die out. So we'll check back in about another hour, and we'll basically see where we're at. Alright everyone, it's been almost an hour now, and we are at varying battery lives. So my iPhone XS is at 86%, my 11 Pro is at 90%, my 12 Pro is at 89%, my iPhone 13 is at 92%, and my iPhone 14 Pro all the way at the end is at 96%. So what are we learning so far? Well, pretty much the iPhone 14 Pro is doing the best, which I kind of expected. The iPhone 13 is doing really well, which is probably already expected too. The iPhone 11 Pro, though, is doing better than my iPhone 12 Pro on iOS 17, which furthers the claim that the iPhone 11 Pro, in my opinion, is a better phone than the iPhone 12 Pro as of this point, which is still pretty insane that we're still seeing things like that. Now, I'm going to let them be on their main display again for another hour. We'll check back in at that 2-hour mark and basically see where we are at. So I'll see you all then. So it's been another hour since our last check-in. The iPhone XS at 67%, iPhone 11 Pro at 75%, iPhone 12 Pro at 73%, iPhone 13 at 79%, and the iPhone 14 Pro at 88%. So far, all these iPhones are doing pretty good. They're all kind of about the same heat, I would say. So we're going to go and load up Temple Run. Actually, I might let them sit there for another hour. What time is it? 1:14. I might just let them sit here for another hour, just on their displays, or maybe another couple hours, and see where they die out at. I think we're probably going to get the iPhone 14 Pro to last the longest, and it's quite clear how much longer it's probably going to last, but we'll check back in about another hour and basically see where we're at. Another hour has passed. The iPhone XS is at 48%, iPhone 11 Pro is at 60%, iPhone 12 Pro is at 56%, iPhone 13 is at 66%, and the iPhone 14 Pro is at 80%. So what have we learned so far? Well, basically, the iPhone XS is still doing the worst. The 11 Pro is doing better than the 12 Pro. The 13 is doing better than the 12 Pro, and the 14 Pro is doing better than all the other phones. So what we're going to do now, nothing complicated, we're going to go ahead and load up Temple Run 2, the OG game, and we're going to go ahead and just let that game play in the background, probably for another hour or two. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they die out then. Typically with games, phones kind of change all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and load up Temple Run 2. I'm going to let those phones die out then. And we're just going to go ahead and see how they hold up, with that game being played. So let's check back in about another hour and see where we're at. So the iPhone XS just ended up dying at the 5-hour and the 9-minute mark. Funny enough, the iPhone 12 Pro is about to be the next one to die. Looking at the other ones, we are kind of at varying battery lives yet again. So we're going to hop out of all these. You can see that the iPhone 11 Pro is at 25%, iPhone 12 Pro is at 10%, iPhone 13 is at 39%, and the iPhone 14 Pro all the way at the end is at 56%. So I'm going to let these go through yet again on Temple Run 2. Seems to be the easiest way to kind of let them die out. So we're going to go and just kind of let them run again until they die. And we'll check back in whenever the next one dies. We'll basically go from there. Many hours later at that 6-hour and 10-minute mark, the iPhone XS is dead. The iPhone 12 Pro did die at the 5-hour and 49-minute mark. So keep that in mind. My iPhone 11 Pro is still alive. The iPhone 13 is at 26%. iPhone 14 Pro is at 45%. And the iPhone 11 Pro is at 10%. So I'm assuming in the next hour, this one is probably going to die. The next 3 hours, the iPhone 13 is going to die. The 14 Pro is probably going to still be around 20% when the iPhone 13 is dead. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens very soon. But let's go and wait another hour and see what happens. So another one just ended up dying. The iPhone 11 Pro at 6 hours and 48 minutes ended up dying, which is very interesting. That leaves 2 left. The iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14 Pro. The iPhone 13 is at 18%. The iPhone 14 Pro is at 37%. I'm going to probably let them run for another hour, and then we're probably going to cut it. I think around that 8-hour mark. I think we'll probably get the idea of which one's going to last the longest out of all these, and we'll kind of have our closing thoughts at that point. So we'll check back in about another hour and 9 minutes and see where we're at. So at the 8 hour mark, our iPhone 13 was at 4% and the iPhone 14 Pro was at 24%. So you can kind of get the idea, well, 23%. You can get the idea of how good of a job the iPhone 14 Pro is doing on iOS 17 right now in terms of battery life. The iPhone 13 is doing pretty good, but it's quite clear which one is the obvious better one in my opinion, and that would probably go for the 14 Pro. So to kind of sum up the video, what I'll tell you is between all the phones, I think the 14 Pro is quite clearly the better one. The 10s did the worst, but it only did a little bit worse than the iPhone 12 Pro. The 11 Pro did much better than the 12 Pro, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not really even too sure what's going on between these devices, but at least with those two, clearly the 14 Pro is the better one here, and it's quite obvious. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.